American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology.
You need to see what people have to say about Roy Masters online, on your computer, tablet, or even your smartphone. Go online and search for Roy Masters PTSD Military, and you'll be glad you did.
Roy Masters and the Foundation of Human Understanding depend upon your donations to keep this program on the air. What is a donation? Well, to you, it could be a tank full of gas. To a person in need, it could be a cure stress device and how your mind can keep you well booked. What is a donation? To you, it could be a meal out. To someone in need, it could be Roy Masters' insight about an incurable condition that doctors don't understand. What's a donation? To you, it could be a bottle of wine or a bag of chips every week. But Roy Masters would use that money to help someone in prison and change their life for good. So when you think my donations don't count, you're wrong. Your donations do count. And without you, this program cannot continue to be heard on the air. So please, make a tax-deductible donation. Call 1-800-877-3227 or write to P.O. Box 1000, Grants Pass, Oregon 97528, or go to FHU.com right now and make your
Talk 1470 WWNN Pompano Beach, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Attention to those of you who have a revocable living trust. When was the last time you had your trust reviewed? Trust should be reviewed every 2 years because the one thing in life that's constant is change. Situational change, financial change, even our closest relationships can change, and any changes not reflected in your trust will have to go through probate. Any change in beneficiary not reflected in your trust means your money's going to go to the wrong people. Attorney Barry Siegel will give you a complete, in-depth review of your trust to make sure it's up to date at no charge. Give Attorney Siegel a call, sit down with him, let him review your old trust. You'll sleep better at night knowing that your trust is up to date. Again, there is no charge for this service. Locations: Palm Beach to Miami. Call 1-855-FLA-3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
Hi, I'm Anna Stevenson. Join me right here every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Spiritual Downloads, where we talk about everything from spiritual matters to what matters to you. So call into Spiritual Downloads and let us hear what you have to say.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
This is Talk 1470.
Talk 1470.
WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local celebrity hosts Steve O and Rene. Sit back each week while Steve O and Rene educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve O and Rene with today's expert in their field.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome to another Ask the Experts, where we find the top experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. You know what? Just ask and you shall receive. We get so many emails asking us for home improvement.
Your wish is our command, right?
And we've gotten roofing repair. A lot of people with roofing repair, and we found the best. I'm Steve O, and my beautiful co-host, Rene.
What's happening?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
God, I'm starting to sound like New York being around you. How you doing?
How you doing?
Anyway, if you'd like to watch today's show live, you can go to www.wwnnradio.com, and on the left-hand side of the page, it says WNN TV. Click there, and
voila, there we are.
Hey, our show's on every Monday and Friday from 4 to 5. If you have a question for today's guest, maybe there's a leak that you might want to take care of besides putting a piece of gum there, you might want
piece of gum.
I saw it on a cartoon one time. We have the top expert, the owner of Bison Roofing Repair,
Adam Coughlin.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Man, we are so glad to have you because people have been asking us to do a roof repair show.
Well, there's so many stories. People tell us, like horror stories, that they hire people that come door to door, which is a very scary thing to do.
It definitely can be, yes. Yeah.
But what's so great about today's show, and Adam's going to be with us every month, is you're going to talk on solar.
That's right.
That means
That's right.
saving people money.
Very, very exciting.
So, listen, I can't wait to get started. I'm so glad that we finally have a expert in roofing repair. You've got locations in many states.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell everybody about your different locations.
We started back in 2005 in the Carolinas. We have offices in Columbia as well as Charlotte. Kind of all in between there. We cover throughout the state. And since then, we've actually expanded to Louisville, Kentucky, and been doing well there for a couple of years. And most recently, Orlando, which has really been a focus for us. It's become our headquarters and where we're doing the majority of our roofing. Obviously, this time of year, it's a little difficult to roof in the snow, but still, it's going very, very good. Almost everything is referral based, and we're just getting a great response just from everybody. And of course, this is my home in Fort Lauderdale. And, I love to work out of home as much as possible. So if anybody needs an expert opinion, maybe you have a leak you can't find, I have infrared cameras, a FLIR, for which I'm certified with, and I can come narrow down your leak, maybe help you with a repair, or obviously what we specialize in are complete replacements.
So if you see a crack, like one time I saw a crack in my dining room, you could actually come in to the home, somebody's house, and take a look and see if it's coming from the roof?
Correct. And what
I
can do is I can see with this camera what your eyes can't. So if you just see a little moisture,
see anything.
well, even someone with good eyes and good light, sometimes it's hard to decipher exactly where it's coming from.
Right.
So instead of just ripping out the whole ceiling and replacing the whole thing, sometimes I can narrow it down to a pinhole, replace it, fix it, warranty it, and make sure that you're happy with it. And, we can wait till it rains till you pay. We can put a hose up there and make sure that you're happy. I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with this before you pay any money, because we all know about those horror stories.
Which is so unusual.
Wait a minute, I got to tell you something. Adam just shared something with us, and I was like, did he just say what I think he said? Tell people about charging.
Well, what's really, really important to us is, as a roofer, I have a horrible reputation right off the bat. I'm already going to try to screw you. I'm already going to try to take the money and run. I'm already bidding way too high. So going into there, I like to let people know that we're different right from the get-go. And let people know that, hey, we don't like to charge you money up front. We don't want you to feel like, I wrote a check to this guy. I'd rather impress you. I'd rather show you what we can do. And after a clean job site in your driveway, discuss something like that. But what's really, really important for us is that we meet all the inspectors, take care of all the inspections. Your average roof has 4 different state-mandated inspections.
Four different licenses you have to have.
Well, no, it's one license. But for each roofing project, there's 4 different times that an inspector has to come and to examine the work and make sure that it's done properly. And obviously your license is very hard to get. I took the test. I don't want to do that again. So we want to do everything
That's a good thing that's
appropriately.
Difficult, because you don't want just anybody doing the roofing.
It really is. And part of the reason that I really like Florida compared to these other states is you're not required to have a license. In North Carolina and South Carolina, it's a very, very small license. Kentucky doesn't even have one. In fact, I'm on the board there for the Kentucky Roofing Contractors Association to try and get one, because some people just do shoddy work.
Can I tell you something? It should be mandated. It's not only that. There's a lot of transient people.
Right. There absolutely is.
So they take your money and they never come back.
Right.
So I love the fact that you don't even ask for payment till after the job is completed.
It's important. Here's what I like to say. This is what I like to say to everybody. When you go to McDonald's, you pay first. Then you get what you get. When you go to a nice steak restaurant, you sit down, you eat, you enjoy it. When you're ready, you pay. And I just want to compare us not to McDonald's.
I like that. Wait a second. I like that analogy. That's a great analogy.
It is a good analogy.
Well, I want you to understand. You can go to Home Depot and pick up some guys. You can rip off the roof yourself. It's not rocket science. But to be done right and to do our motto, to protect your greatest investment, it really should be done properly.
I agree.
You don't want to have problems down the road. You don't want to be dealing with someone you don't know. And I always let everybody know my personal cell phone, my address, and if you need to find me, find me. We've been A+ with Better Business Bureau for 10 years.
That's wonderful.
I don't know what the inside of a courtroom looks like. We've never really had any trouble, and we just try to do right. We make mistakes, but we try to fix it. And I want to make sure you're happy before I take your money, because that's just the worst. Anybody says some guy took my money and left, that's like the worst thing you can do. I'm not going to get any calls from any neighbors.
We've
I'll
heard
tell you that.
he's saying
stories like that too.
I know, and he's saying about referrals, and that speaks volume. Because if you're getting referrals, then that means that you're doing excellent quality work.
It's so important. And I always like feedback. I like to show up at the job sites just to see what's going on. It's very easy to become an owner and, kind of sit back and not really visit the sites and not make sure people are happy. But people always appreciate it.
Yes.
And I appreciate it, and I like seeing if we're leaving nails behind, if we're leaving something a mess or doing something not how we should be.
Right, and this is why you're successful.
Well, it's not easy, but yeah, we're definitely on our way to something
Tell
good.
everybody all the services that you provide.
Okay. Well, as far as roofing down here in the South Florida area, everybody loves tile. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic. It looks.
Tile, you're talking about the barrel roofing?
Correct. Yeah, there's a couple different profiles that you can get. You can get the flatter tiles, the S tiles, or the barrel tiles.
Which is the best?
Well, it comes down to aesthetics. Some people could say, with my roof, I don't have much of a pitch. Sometimes the flat is a little nicer. Me personally, I just installed like a barrel tile look. I love that look.
Me too.
I really think it looks nice. And what everybody doesn't understand, though, is they're just big paperweights. They have no water shedding capability. I mean, a little bit, but really your roof is about the underlayment. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes you could have a crack in here, and it won't really correlate to a leak.
So that's basically aesthetic. So
they just sit on there. So there's a layer of felt.
Right.
That's your waterproofing layer, and that comes your first inspection. That's when they want to make sure that everything's correct, that the wood has been replaced that has to. But the really important part is your modified roofing and how it's installed. That is the base layer that controls your leaks, that controls the longevity of the roof, and that's really your roof.
So what holds up the best during hurricane season?
Well,
because I know sometimes you see different types of roof. Because I know that even like, I don't know if it's tar. It looks like almost like a tar roofing. The tiles,
right?
And usually I see those coming down first. Are those the older roofs?
Well, it kind of depends on the position of your house and the position of the winds, whether or not it's going to take it off. But the tiles that we install, we go for, the state minimum is 130 mile an hour wind protection with a medium patty. So we always use a large patty. And what I mean by that is instead of putting nail holes in your roof, like we did years ago, no. It's actually a two-part poly foam mix with glue. And it comes out of two tanks simultaneously. You lay it down, and it actually works like glue. Therefore, there's no nails, so there's no penetrations in your roof anywhere for it to leak. And it also holds it to close to about 170 mile an hour wind warranty if installed properly.
Wow.
So what we like to do is exceed the minimums. We don't want to just pass the inspections. We want to make sure it's a good product. As you know, there's a ton of competition out there. So we try to set ourselves apart in quality.
Is Adam for real? I mean, this is like...
Go pitch him.
Part of the show is about education. So, listen, if you have a roof problem, and we're going to get into solar too, you've got to call Bison Roofing.
Give your phone number out.
But what I was going to say is, if you have to hire a contractor, what documentation should people be asking for?
Okay, this is really important. Obviously, in Florida, you need to have a license. Check that license, please. Anybody can have a piece of paper. After that, which most people should have, if they're going to advertise or come to your door, they should have that. The most important thing is workers' comp insurance on each member of the crew on your property. Now, they can be direct employees of the contractor, they can be subcontracted employees, all that's fine. But
how do you check that?
Well, you can ask for the policy, and you can check, and I would seriously ask for a certificate and call and just see how many people are named on it. A lot of times people get carpenter's insurance, or they get painter's insurance and keep it general, and then show up and try to do roofing. But if workers' comp comes to your job site, which is very common here in Florida, everybody could get in trouble, and God forbid, as a customer, someone falls off, the lawyers are going after you.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Immediately. Because it's all about liability. You have to understand, if there's a $2 million policy, but it doesn't cover you, what's the point of the policy?
Exactly.
And it's something that I've learned the hard way. I've gone through, and I've had crews tell me, yeah, we have our stuff, and then, come to find out maybe one guy didn't. We haven't had any incidents, but it can still be really high fines, and just taking that risk is just something that you shouldn't do.
No,
Speaking of something you shouldn't do, listen, we never know when we're going to have a roof leak. It's something we don't plan on. We have someone here right here who is an expert. So if you have a roof leak, why would you want to go Google it to try to find
You
a
don't
company?
want to do that.
And that's one of the things we say about our experts. We have the expert right here in studio. Give everybody your phone number.
954-299-0929. What counties do you cover?
Mostly Broward and Palm Beach. We've done work in North Dade and obviously up in Orlando and everywhere in between, but primarily Broward, Palm Beach County, and then all the Orlando surrounding areas.
Perfect.
But if someone had a roof or a project,
you'll go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we rarely say no. You're too far. It's just a matter of who needs our services.
So when you give an estimate, does that cover everything? Permits, inspections?
I'm glad you asked that because there's only one thing in our estimates that is a variable, and we were very, very clear about that, and that's rotten wood. Nobody can predict, and if anybody tells you they can predict how many pieces, they're probably pulling your leg, because that's the only thing that we don't know. Sometimes you rip up a roof, it looks good, you're not sure. Sometimes it just needs to be replaced. That's a nominal fee. We're talking maybe $30 a sheet. Other than that,
so you don't know until you actually get in there.
Right. Other than that, which is, we're talking 1 to 2% probably of this project, all of the permits, the dumpster fees, everything, all the materials have all been pre-calculated, so you know that that's going to be your price. And there have been times where I bid a job and I lose money. But it's just not honest to go back to people and say, hey, you owe me more because, I didn't do the math right, or
exactly.
I didn't measure right.
But there's people in the industry who do that, don't
Well,
there?
there is, and some people set up their contracts, and you should always be careful of what you're signing. Don't sign until you're ready to go. Some people like to sign right away. Oh, if you do this, you get a free whatever or something. But just realize when you're doing that, you're entering a legal obligation. And if there's things in there you're not comfortable with, don't do it.
Right.
There's not one roofing company in South Florida.
There's
not one anything.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
There's not one restaurant. Do your research. Be comfortable with it. Look at the Better Business Bureau. Look at them online. Look at the 4th and 5th page. Ask your friends. Ask references. And if you're comfortable, do it. And if not, don't feel any pressure, because there's just no need. There really, really isn't.
So do you give free estimates and inspections? Do you offer that?
Yeah, we do. We give free estimates to come out, for different options, different tile options, different shingle options, depending on what your community wants and what you want to do. We also look at homes for people who are buying a home and want to see an inspection, want to see, how many years it has left, different things like that. We work with a lot of realtors, to kind of help with that. Sometimes when people get leaks or if it's just time, they want to understand.
People are fearful if they have a leak that they'll have to replace their whole roof.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case.
No, it isn't. And I just went through that myself, and it was very, very embarrassing because on my ceiling you could tell there was leaks. And people would come over and say, what do you do for a living? And I had to hear it from my friends all the time. But with a tile roof, you can't just replace 1 or 2 tiles. The underlayment was shot, and I had to wait till I could do it, the whole thing, because it had multiple leaks, in different areas. It was also an original roof. But there's a lot of scenarios where I can just do a portion of it, or a whole, the rear of the roof, or an entire facet, or the whole thing. And I like to give you options. And at that point, you can decide, well, is it worth it? Do I want to spend more money down the road? Do I want to do it now? And you can kind of look at things historically.
Now, with all the storms we have here, will the insurance
I
companies...
was just about to ask that. You're reading my mind. Does insurance cover that?
Well,
the whole roof, though, I was going to say.
A lot more than you would think. But it just depends. It depends on the policy. It depends on the damage that you have. But we do a lot of insurance claims. That's my background. I'm actually a licensed adjuster. And we've worked a lot of restoration. We are a preferred contractor for First Choice, which is a company that pre-screens contractors. It was like a 45-page huge thing to go through, but they make sure that we're good, we don't have any debt, we don't have any bad ratings, and they hook us directly up so we can work directly with insurance companies when a disaster happens. Wow. So we're very proud of that certification, and we have the same software they do, so it's real easy to bill and to give you fair estimates so you know where you would be.
We got to go to commercial.
We do.
We're going to go to commercial. When we come back, we're right here with Bison Roofing, the owner of the company, Adam Coughlin. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Bison Roofing Company is proud to be selected as the experts in roofing repair for the Ask the Experts show. If you live in South Florida, the roof on your house has to face heat, storms, and the occasional hurricane. It is a big investment, no doubt, and it has to be maintained, repaired, and occasionally replaced to keep your house and its occupants safe. As the top roofing repair company in South Florida, they value their customers. Bison Roofing is an established enterprise with hundreds of satisfied customers. They offer roof installation, maintenance, and repair services to clients in Palm Beach and all of Broward County. Bison Roofing also knows that a roofing contractor is only as good as its staff and workers. This is why they have worked hard to deliver skilled and highly experienced workers to handle your roof. Call Bison Roofing today for more details. Phone 954-627-1811 or go to their website at www.bisonroofing.com.
And we're back. We have one of the top experts in roofing right here live in studio, Bison Roofing. If you want to go to their website, they got such great information on their website. Is it www.bison, B-I-S-O-N, roofing.com?
All one word, yes, sir.
So easy.
So let's talk about solar panels.
Yes.
So we know that you do installations of those as well.
Yeah. This is really exciting for me because for years we've been removing and replacing solar panels or throwing away old pool heater solar panels that people haven't used or utilized in a long time. And you know, I'm just going to say what everybody is thinking. We live in the Sunshine State and we don't use solar. We just don't.
Which is crazy.
What are the benefits of solar?
Okay, all right. And this is the coolest thing ever. And a lot of us don't because we don't understand how to or how to get the ball rolling or it's expensive or it's complicated or it's outdated. All of these things have been addressed. I've recently partnered up with a $8.4 billion company. They're an American company. Sun Edison is the name of them, and we actually install all of their panels. Now, what's fantastic about this is you can literally save more than 50%, some changes, sometimes 60, 70, 80% of your current electric bill immediately. And we structure your payment so that it's less than that.
Wow.
Yeah, so ideally
That's
the savings
huge.
pay for themselves. Now, I have a great analogy for everybody. You could buy a helicopter today, and you will pay it off before you pay off your electric bill. You could buy 2 Rolls Royces today, and someday before you die, you're going to pay them off, but you will not pay off your electric bill. It is with you till the day that you die. Yeah, you could buy a mega yacht, and eventually you will pay it off. Electricity never goes away. Okay,
that's absolutely
true.
On my house, which you were at, I'm going to put 30 panels on, and it should produce somewhere, depending on my tree coverage and all the little details, between $2,400 and $2,800 of electricity I'm going to produce every year. Okay, so if you had a $200 electric bill, I'm almost paying for the entire thing.
That's right.
You know, it's really quite remarkable. And for snowbirds, this is the most amazing part for everybody listening out there who enjoys the beautiful up north in the spring and summer and comes down here in the winter. Your meter will be spinning backwards the whole time. By the time you come, you're using free electricity.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
And you know, they turn their air conditioning way up.
Yeah, way up. Just the fridge, just a couple little things. And that was my life for a long time, getting my business established in the other states and in the wintertime coming back here. And it's really, really an amazing thing. So with one shot, with one coming to your house, I have a presentation. In that presentation, we look at your electric bills. And we currently say, well, this is how much you've been paying. With the 4% increase annually every year, this is what you will pay. I show you 5, 10, 20 years of savings, what it would be today. And basically, the government up front pays for 30%.
Is that right?
So,
wow.
So
I didn't even know
it's
that.
Complete tax deductible. So I actually set up 2 different loans. They're both done at 2.99%. One of them matures in 12 months, and that one, you know, immediately what you're paying on your taxes, you get back. So that's a gimme.
That's
so
great.
Right there, 30% paid for. The other 20% we finance. Like I said, at 2.99%, it's smart money. And if I can schedule out the payments,
that's
so
a
that
low
the money
finance
that you were
rate,
paying,
yes.
the money you were paying to FPL anyway, now is actually going to something that you're going to own. You're going to stop renting electricity, and you're going to start owning.
Gotcha.
We all want a home. We all want to be a homeowner. We don't want to rent. It's a waste of money. We all know that. But no one uses that concept with electricity. We all just assume we should pay $150, $200, $250, stop me, $300 a month, like a lot of us do.
$400.
You know, $400, $500. I mean, how much it is. If I could cut that in half, think about that. Think about the savings.
That's a huge savings.
You're going green. You're doing everything that you should. You're producing electricity. And on top of that, you go to sell your home. I have a wonderful study right here. I just want to share with everybody real quick. 22,000 homes sold. They were all analyzed between 1999 and 2013. 4,000 of which had full photovoltaic systems on their house. And an average between all of them was a $15,000 jump between comps of the same house with the system. So not only does it pay off, but if you do sell the home, you're going to get your value there too.
That's amazing.
It's a no-brainer. In Florida, we get 150% of the solar power that we would up north. So if you lived in Baltimore or New York or all these places that are utilizing solar more than we are, we actually get 150% every second that we're in the sun compared to every second they do. Why are we not using it?
That's a good question.
Why?
Why are we not using it, Steve-O?
I have a dumb question. If it's real dumb, it was Renee's idea.
Thank you very much.
Can this be done for commercial too?
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be just residential.
No, and it was mind blowing. This year I went
That
to
was my idea. Okay, just remember that.
Yeah, I went to Las Vegas this year and at the National Solar Convention, and to see all the carports that are being made, the buildings that have solar built in immediately, the technology that's increasing with this, it's remarkable. They have inline microinverters that almost never ever fail. We have factory-trained installation technicians that come to your house, put an inverter in. You can view this from your phone. There's apps that you can see how much money you're actually making every minute for doing nothing.
Wow.
Now, a lot of
That's
smarter
crazy.
people who have the money will pay this off. They say, I don't want to pay the 2.99%. And they just won't have an electric bill or a much, greatly diminished one. And at that point,
so is
you can
solar
choose.
right for everybody?
Well, that's the tricky part. I need a southern-facing roof. Most people don't like
So
to...
if you buy a house, you need a southern-facing house.
If you're between one or two and you're smart and you're
Pick the
thinking about
southern
the
one,
future,
yes.
yes, let's please do that. But that's the only thing. Some people do put them on the front. See it all over the place in California and Hawaii and other places where it's real prevalent. But that what you want to optimize it. If you put it in the north side, someone tries to sell it to you, don't do it. You're not getting the maximum use of it.
How much do they usually cost? What's the price range of solar panels?
Anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000. It depends. It's per panel. So however much you can use, I give you a proposal stating, hey, if we do the whole roof, a portion of the roof, 5 panels, 10 panels, and then it becomes your choice. I can get you financed in 10 minutes. And that right there, it's all done through the same company. All the inverters, all the racking, all the panels are all ordered through the same American company. Not ordering them from everywhere else. So if there's a warranty issue, it can be there.
So it's more beneficial to have the whole roof covered with the solar panels, basically.
Well, as much as you can. You want to maximize efficiency.
Right.
And then I'm running a special in March, but anyone who's calling, who wants to call our office, I'll honor it for this month too. If you go through with one of these, I'm going to change every light bulb in your house to LED, which immediately is going to show savings, and it's going to help open your eyes about to how much energy we're wasting, and how much we can do better. And, I bought my wife a hybrid car, and it's fun to see how much mileage we can get. You still get everywhere on time. It's still the same thing. And I'm just really excited about it because electricity is a big pain to pay.
So would this increase the value of your home too?
Well, he just said that.
Very
he was
much
just
so,
reading
yeah.
that.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
increased it by 15,000.
And that's on average. There were some that were 20 and 22, and obviously others that were lower.
Right.
But that's over, 4,000 homes, out of 22 that were picked, 22,000. So
that's big.
Yeah, it really is. And it's exciting for me because, doing roofs, like I said, we're around solar all the time. I'm up there feeling that heat all the time, and you just wonder. Then you go to other states and other places, and they have solar everywhere. And our sun is so much more concentrated and more powerful. And
it's amazing that more people don't do it here.
I know. And we run air conditioning in the winter. I mean, why are we doing this?
Yes.
A lot of people have the pool heater style, but with this system, you can get a real pool heater and have it pay for itself. They don't have to settle for 79-degree water. You can pump it up if you want.
So people who go home, the snowbirds who go home that have been turning up their air, they don't really need to do that anymore, do they?
Well, the air conditioning would stay the same. The thermostat would stay the same.
Okay.
But the electricity usage, typically those people might get an $80 bill or maybe a $70 bill if they had more, just for the minimal that they were using.
The savings are huge.
However, summertime sun, we're generating more than that. If I can put a 30 or 40 panel system on this house, they're going to have a major credit from FPL when they arrive in October.
That's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It
and
is.
then the whole time you're already spending a lot of money traveling. This is a great way to
now they
look
can
at.
call you. They can call you to come out, sit down with them, give them an estimate.
He does free estimates.
Yeah.
Give them your phone number.
954-299-0929.
Wow, this is...
Yeah, we utilize pictometry in EagleView, which can take pictures of your home from space, and I can look at it and find out the most optimal situation for you. Give you a whole detailed layout. They can show you different panel options. And then please do your research on Sun Edison. They're fantastic. I mean, I chose through a bunch of them, and they have a rigorous process. But just to have the accountability of a very successful company that's really doing a lot of big things in the renewable energy spot or space, they're remarkable.
So now, can you store the energy in batteries?
Now, that's great. That's always the first question
cells?
that I get. Now, let me just explain net metering just a little bit. In some different states, they sell you the electricity at a certain rate per kilowatt hour. Has anybody ever read through an electric bill?
No.
It's
No,
it's
you just
a
pay
little
it.
a little for it. You
Actually,
just pay it. They
wait,
could be
no.
charging you anything they
Well,
want.
can I tell you
you
something?
know?
Automatically, it comes out of my checking account.
Right, so you don't even know.
I have
mean,
no clue.
Right, I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. And what's remarkable about this is there's no discount. So if our kilowatt hours cost us 10 cents, let's just say, when you aren't using the energy that you're creating on your roof, you spin the meter the other way and you sell it back to the grid.
Wait a second. Back up. Let me understand this.
Okay. So some people would think if I'm generating electricity on my roof and it's going into my house,
Right.
you have to either use it or it's got to go somewhere.
So you're able to store it?
Well, right now, storing it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's very, very expensive. Keeping batteries in your home, it's volatile. It's just not, we're not there yet. In Germany and other places, some large commercial things, yes, they're doing it, but on a residential level, you'd pay thousands to get pennies. It wouldn't make any
How about
sense.
a commercial level?
Well,
yeah, you could do that.
You know, and that's not really my level of expertise, but you know, we can cover that
It
at a
will
different
be
time.
soon, though.
It may be. I hope someday. You know, you always want to do larger projects, but basically, you don't need to store it. Because as you send it back, it's a check and balance system.
Right.
You know, it's just a credit that you would get to the grid. And in Florida, there's no net metering, so they don't charge you a lower percentage for what they buy back. So it's essentially a give and take.
You always know you got a great show going when the time is up.
Wow.
I know. Can you believe that? I had like 10 more questions to ask Adam.
Well, next time
give
we'll
everybody
discuss
your
it.
phone number again. And Adam's going to be with us every month.
Yeah, 954-299-0929.
Perfect.
Listen, thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely.
Thank
Yeah,
you
this
so
was
much,
great.
Adam.
Can't wait to come back.
I learned a lot.
Good.
We've got John Pankowski of Pankowski Law Firm. He's going to talk about elder law and estate planning. And we're just so lucky to have him, too.
We are.
We will be right back.
The Bison Roofing Company is proud to be selected as the experts in roofing repair for the Ask the Experts show. If you live in South Florida, the roof on your house has to face heat, storms, and the occasional hurricane. It is a big investment, no doubt, and it has to be maintained, repaired, and occasionally replaced to keep your house and its occupants safe. As the top roofing repair company in South Florida, they value their customers. Bison Roofing is an established enterprise with hundreds of satisfied customers. They offer roof installation, maintenance, and repair services to clients in Palm Beach and all of Broward County. Bison Roofing also knows that a roofing contractor is only as good as its staff and workers. This is why they have worked hard to deliver skilled and highly experienced workers to handle your roof. Call Bison Roofing today for more details. Phone 954-627-1811 or go to their website at www.bisonroofing.com.